Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing good. Children, now we will do models. Now think, pick the correct sentences. Sentence 1, A. Can you play the piano? B. You may play the piano. Sentence 2, A. We could go for a walk this evening. B. Can we go for a walk this evening? Third, A. Your father cannot like the gift you have chosen. B. Your father may not like the gift you have chosen. Fourth, when shall we come and see you? B. When will we come and see you? Fifth, A. Will the boy be late again? B. The boy could be late again. Now do. Work with a partner and make 5 rules for your class. Share your rules with the class. पार्टनर के साथ मिलके 5 rules बनाइए और फिर उसको शेयर करिए. Now read auxiliary verbs. An auxiliary verb is a helping verb. It is used with the main verb to form a verb phrase. Example, she was calling her friend. Here the word calling is the main verb and the word was is an auxiliary verb. जो auxiliary verb होता है वो क्या होता है? ये helping verb होता है और हम इसको क्यों यूज़ करते हैं? main verb के साथ जो है verb phrase को form करने के लिए इसको यूज़ करते हैं. Now in first sentence she was calling her friend. Here the word calling is the main verb and the word was is an auxiliary verb. The verbs be, have and do are often referred to as primary auxiliaries. Now modals. Modals are verbs used to showcase the mood or attitude of the speaker. They express attitude like permission, possibility, advice, request, make suggestions, etc. जो मॉडल्स होते हैं वो क्यों यूज़ करते हैं हम? स्पीकर का मूड या एटीट्यूड को शो करने के लिए. और ये कैसे एटीट्यूड को शो करता है? जैसे परमिशन दे रहे हैं या पॉसिबिलिटी है, एडवाइस है या रिक्वेस्ट है या सजेशंस है. द मोस्ट कॉमनली यूज्ड मॉडल्स आर कैन, विल, मस्ट, कुड, मे, वुड, ought to, shall, should, might. When to uses modal verbs. Permission. Allowing someone to do something. अगर किसी को हम कुछ करने के लिए allow कर रहे हैं तो कैसे यूज़ करेंगे? May and can are most commonly used to ask for permission. May is more polite or formal than can. May और can को जो है परमिशन के लिए हम यूज़ करते हैं. May और can में डिफरेंस क्या है कि may can से ज़्यादा पोलाइट वर्ड है. एग्जाम्पल, you can leave when the bell rings. Customers may purchase extra copies at half price. Could is a polite way of asking for permission. Example, could I leave early today? Might is a very formal and old-fashioned way of asking for permission. Example, might I borrow your umbrella? Obligation. Saying what someone must do. कि किसी को करना ये जरूरी है. When you want to demand for something to happen or someone does something out of duty, by use must. Examples, the builders must finish the job today. We must not leave the house before 6 o'clock. I must remember to bring my notebook. Obligation है कि आपको ये चीज़ करना है. You are obliged to do that. Intention. Saying what you are going to do. आपका intention क्या है? आप क्या करने जा रहे हो? In order to show intention to do something, use will or shall. Intention के लिए will और shall का use करेंगे. Shall is used with I or we and will is used with other pronoun. Examples, his letter says they will definitely give us our money back. I shan't stay long. To express an intention at a time in the past, use would. Past के लिए would का use करेंगे. Example, I tried to explain but nobody would listen. Now use would if there are conditions controlling whether something will take place. Example, I would leave tomorrow if I had the money. Ability. Saying whether you are able to do something, आपकी ability को express करेगा. When you want to say whether someone is able to carry out an action, use can. आपकी ability को show करेगा कि आप उस चीज़ को कर सकते हैं, तो can का use करेंगे. Examples, Guy can speak Russian. Can you remember her name? I can't find my shoes. When one put these sentences into the past tense, use could. अगर past में use करना है तो could का use होगा. Example, he was late for school because he could not find his bag. Use could if there are conditions controlling whether the event will take place. Example, I could leave tomorrow if I had the money. Possibility. Saying whether something is possible. When one wants to state the possibility of something to happen, can and may are used. जब किसी चीज़ के होने की possibility होती है तो can और may का हम use करते हैं. May is politer and more formal than can. May can से ज़्यादा polite है और formal word है. Examples, you can go by bus from London to Liverpool. You may find the manager is still there if you go to the office now. If one wants to suggest that the action is less likely to happen, we could or might we can use. Use might. You mean that the action is especially unlikely. Examples, we could go by bus. We might go by bus if it is possible, but only if there are no problems. Next is probability. Saying whether something is likely. If one wants to suggest that an event is likely to happen, use should or ought to. अगर कोई event होने की possibility ज़्यादा है तो हम क्या use करेंगे? Should और ought to का. An action that probably take place but you are not completely sure. वो हो सकता है लेकिन आप completely sure नहीं है उस चीज़ के लिए, तो probability. Examples, they should have had our reply by now. If you take these tablets, you should be all right. We ought to be there by 6 o'clock. Next is desirability. Saying that something is the right thing to do. When one wants to indicate that it is a good time for something to happen, use should or ought to. At the same time, when one wants to show that reverse the negative form of should and ought to is used to. Examples, you should get the early flight if you want to be in good time. You ought to see the doctor as soon as possible. Next is necessity. Saying that something is necessary. To indicate it is necessary for something to happen, use must. अगर कुछ compulsory है कि करना ही करना है, necessary है, तो हम किसका use करेंगे? Must का. Examples, we must be there by 7 p.m. I must get my hair cut this weekend. Next is to indicate a behavior that is not necessary, use must not or need not, not needed. अगर necessary नहीं है तो किसका use करेंगे? Must not का, need not का या not needed का. Now example, there is plenty of time, you need not worry. Certainly. Saying that you are sure about something, जहाँ certainty है, होना ही होना है उस चीज़ ने. To indicate the surety of something to happen when a certain action is done. The certainty that two things will happen together, use must. जहाँ compulsory हो वहाँ must का होगा. Example, you must be tired after all the hard work. Thomas has lived in Paris. दोबारा पढ़ रही हूँ एग्जाम्पल. Examples. You must be tired after all the hard work. Thomas has lived in Paris. His French must be very good. At the same time, to indicate prohibition of something, the negative form of must is used. अगर किसी चीज़ को prohibit करना है करने से तो उसमें किसका यूज़ करेंगे? Form of must का यूज़ करेंगे. Example, you must not drive over the speed limit. You must not leave medicines where children can get to them. Next is prediction, saying what you think is going to happen. कि कोई चीज हो सकती है, prediction है. When one wants to state something is certain to happen, will or shall is used. अगर किसी चीज का होना कंपलसरी है, आपने किया है, प्रिडिक्ट की, ये होगा ही होगा, तो will और shall का यूज करेंगे. Shall is used only with first person, I or we, while will is used for others. Shall का यूज कहाँ करेंगे? फर्स्ट पर्सन I और we के साथ, और will का बाकी के जो और सब्जेक्ट्स हैं. Examples, the cars will be there on time, I promise. There is no doubt that we shall win. Now tell, read these sentences. Mark P for permission, R for request, A for ability, and PO for possibility. In first sentence, can we bring the kitten into your party? इसमें क्या हो रहा है? परमिशन मांगी जा रही है. तो आप इसके आगे क्या लिखेंगे? P. अब बाकी के जो सेंटेंसेस हैं ये आपको अपने आप करने हैं. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू यू. नाउ इट्स टाइम टू रिवाइज. यू कैन रिवाइज इट.